I'm starting my video. Oh, hi, good evening, everyone. How are you? How are we doing? Nice to be here with you again tonight. How is the family? Happy new month, isn't it? Yeah, it's a new month, isn't it? Happy new month, everyone. May the new month be fruitful, useful, beautiful, and devoid of anything bad. May grace and abundance find us every day throughout the month. May we find peace. Okay, this video is going to be a little bit heavy tonight because this month I have some serious work that I plan. I pray God Almighty make it easy for us to be able to execute. So this month I have tagged it Hormonal Balance Month, and that came because of the work I did last month and all the different actually let me pause the video. Okay, good evening everyone. Hi TikTok family, how are you? Thank you for joining, everybody. Thank you Facebook family as well. As always, I'm doing my cross channel videos, so in case you're seeing me looking around, it's because I'm equally on TikTok and I'm live streaming to other platforms as well. So I'll be looking from TikTok to Facebook and all. Please bear with me. Okay, so this month, I've got something planned, and I've actually put out the post earlier to all my channels. And I'm naming this month Hormonal Balance February. And this is simply because throughout the month of January, all my engagements and the work I did with the women I work with, a lot of them had issues with hormonal imbalance, few with a bit of fertility issue. But the major of it actually centered around hormonal imbalance. So what I intend to do tonight, I'm not going to finish this video tonight. So this is just a way of introduction. So I'm going to be listing some signs and symptoms and things we need to... Oh, Toby, can you please get me some celery seed and the ginger in the fridge, please? Yes, the seed is there. And there's one. Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to get stuff ready. I didn't bring that. I should have. I want to introduce the plan for the month for those that usually follow me on my challenge. If you're on TikTok, maybe you haven't joined us before. We always introduce challenges we do every month. The month of January, we actually did no soda, no sugar, just water challenge, and quite a lot of people that joined that, we had a lot of positive feedback. The whole idea is for us to start on a small habit that we build up as the month progresses, and that eventually becomes a part of us. Thank you. Yeah, get the MC as well. It's in there. It's in the box there. The white one. So that eventually becomes a part of us, things that we can start slowly progress with, and then that will become your habit. And why do we do that? We do it simply because for a lot of people, making a change is not easy. So some people start so slowly and they build up. For some, until they are sick or something drastic has happened, that is what forced them to make healthy decisions. For me, the other one, there's another bag. It's become a part and parcel of me, especially if you know what your background is. If you know you have not been blessed with abundance of health, and you had to normally struggle to do a little bit extra, then you need to listen to a few things I have to say tonight. So what are the signs of... Yes, that's it. What are the signs of hormonal imbalance? I've done work around this before, but it's quite sad that we still keep getting a lot of complaints around it. And it's something that is part and parcel of our life, whether we like it or not. A lot of women struggle with hormonal imbalance issue, and some men as well. Hormone is part of our existence. Your body needs your hormone to function properly. There are so many of them. I know when people talk about hormone, usually they talk about the estrogen and the progesterone, maybe in some instances prostaglandins. There are a lot more. Your insulin is your hormone. Your liver needs your hormone to function, to metabolize properly. You know, there is the hormone that controls our sleep pattern. There is the one that controls how we eat. Your thyroid hormone as well. So there is so many domains to hormonal imbalance. For a lot of women, the one we tend to worry about most of the time is the one around the polycystic ovaries, yeah, where many people don't even realize they have it until, say, they get married and then they are struggling to become pregnant and issue begins to happen. Then that is what usually forced them to go to their GP, and then the investigations will start. For some, maybe you're one of the ones that have been struggling to lose weight, and you're doing everything. When I say everything, I mean you feel you're doing everything right, and yet the weight is not shifting. For some, they say don't expose to sun. They won't expose themselves to sun. They are not eating too much, and yet they still struggle to sleep. For a lot of our teenagers, I've seen quite a number of complaints where you hear that, oh, shortly before my period, I start to get bloated, I have surge of acne on my face, I can't sleep properly. And one that is very common that most people don't actually think is linked to hormonal imbalance is the pain. You get a lot of joint pains and aches, right? And you see a young girl, 12, 13, 14, 15, all of a sudden they are complaining of leg pain all the time. They can't settle. They struggle to get up to go to bed in the mornings. Please, a lot of time is actually not their fault. Hormone imbalance. And sadly, especially with our youngsters, they eat a lot of sugar, which as a parent you may not have absolute control of because you don't follow them to school. Then when they get home, they can't shut down. It happens a lot in the teenage years. Usually their pain is irregular period. Some of them very, very painful menstruation with a lot of leg pain. Keep an eye on their hormone for them. What are the things we can do? There are so many things you can do to stabilize hormone. But in these days, when people talk about, oh, you have to eat healthy, how many of us can realistically eat healthy? It's not an easy thing to do. Don't let us deceive ourselves. Nobody can 100% say all the time I can be on healthy plan. Even for someone like me that I will call myself aware when it comes to food, I make effort, but you cannot eat healthy all the time. It's not visible. There are times that your body will crave. Now, I have special interest in hormonal imbalance because I suffered heavily with it. And it battered different aspects of my life I didn't know until so late. For me, my condition is I tend to retain a lot of fluid. When my period is approaching, you will see me. Normally, I double in size. I will be so big, my face will be so puffy, my legs will be so puffy. I'll be sweating all the time, even at the height of the cold. And I remember when I was much younger, terrible, terrible pain back in Africa. And what they'll keep telling you is, oh, don't worry, once you start having children, it will settle. Even after 3 kids, it didn't settle. Until now that I now have better insight into it. Now that I know that it actually has a name. Good evening, ma. Oh, good evening, Nancy. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you. That it now has a name. Now that I know that it is actually an imbalance in my hormone, I went for the blood test. I did scan. I got diagnosed, and I had to take some medications. And now I'm heavily supplementing to support me. Good evening, ma. Good evening, everyone. Supplementing to support I've seen drastic improvements. Gone are those days that I'm always fatigued, that I can't get a lot done. Now, people will say, well, you eat a lot, you eat very well, why are you supplementing? Sadly, our generation, you cannot rely on food alone to stabilize your hormone. It is not physically possible. You will have to need some extra layer of support. Unless you want to keep struggling. And there are different stages to it. There are the ones you will have in our youngsters. I'm talking about young girls now. Now, with my 2 girls, I can see how fluctuating their hormone is. Now, I can look at them and say, okay, this one is about to have a period, because the full acne breakout, I will see it. The lethargy, I will see it. Then I start them on some supplements at that time. The second one, when the mood swing really starts, I will just smile. With my understanding now, I'm able to support them better. I didn't get that kind of support. But I cannot blame my parents because they didn't know. Now we know we need to do things differently. For let me say middle-aged women. I'm talking about women of childbearing age now. Anything from age 20, say between 20 and 40 years window. For those kind of women, for many of them, they actually don't know that they have hormonal imbalance until they begin to struggle with fertility. This is what we are seeing so common now. That they get married 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. I had a lady in January that I had to manage with that. She hasn't given me the full permission to share her story, so I won't go into details, but I know she's been married for so long, no child, and she's been so worried. A lot of the symptoms of the classical hormone has presented, talking about having cysts in the breast, talking about lack of sleep, chronic insomnia, very terrible mood swing, things that genuinely will make your life frustrating. Then 3-4 days to a period, the nasty pain will start in her leg. I remember the first day we talked, she said, "Auntie, I need to know. I am not even 40 years of age. How come every time I need to have my period, this leg pain will start? What is the correlation between leg pain, as in serious joint achy pain, and my period?" And I said, "Don't you know that nobody told you about hormonal imbalance?" She said, "Well, she knows about hormonal imbalance, but what has that got to do with leg pain?" I said, "You know what? Go and Google it. It's called endometrial leg pain, and it usually starts 3 to 4 days before your hormone." She was like, "Is there anything like that?" Absolutely there is. And she went to them and said, "I can't believe this. It's the truth. This is the one our youngsters will have." These days and age, there is no reason for us to be suffering like that anymore. We all should know better. One of the ways to manage hormonal imbalance, a lot has to do with food, because there is no cure. You can only manage it just like the way you will manage a lot of things. For those that have it in, severe ones, you have to go for blood tests to know the specific hormone you have imbalance to. There is the estrogen, there is the progesterone, there is the prostaglandins, there is the thyroid. There are so many of them. The one that affects your sleep. So for many people, they will have to do full blood test, and now your doctor will know which of it. And then for some, it's hyperthyroid, some is hypothyroid. The symptoms we produce will show differently. How you will know that you most likely have hypothyroid is if you've been genuinely making serious efforts with weight loss and it's not shifting. Most of the time it's hypothyroid, and they might need to give you some thyroxine, levothyroxine, to boost up a little bit. Then you kick it heavily with your diet and some supplements. You might stabilize and they will take you off it. Some may even need surgery, like when in Africa they call it goiter and all that. Is the symptoms of hormonal imbalance. So tonight I'm going to make a list, give you a list. When I'm calling this list, let me know how many you can relate with or someone you know. When I made a list for this, out of about 12 or 13 lists I have, I realized I actually have more than 8 of it. So I don't need anybody to diagnose me. I've been fully diagnosed, but before I didn't know. So let's start. Mood swings. How many of us struggle with mood swings when our period is about to start? Suddenly you're just feeling so sad, so angry for no reason. You can't place it. Yes, your estrogen is dropping towards the later end and your period is about to start. And it goes, and this is not just about you, I'm just angry. You are happy 1 minute, you are extremely sad the next. It is one of the classical symptoms of hormonal imbalance. Number 2, very painful, irregular period. All my life, I've never been able to know. I can't even till now, I can't tell you when my next period is going to come. I simply don't know the date, and I stopped bothering about it because it was messing me up. That when it comes, it comes. Many people don't know. Some will have very, very painful period that they have to be on medication. Some will even be taken off work. Another one is nasty insomnia. How many people do you know that they just can't sleep well? They just cannot shut down. They've tried all the teas. They've tried all the supplements. That sleep industry is one of the biggest one from, when it comes to supplement, where people spend so much money and they still won't see any results. Fix your hormone, your sleep will improve. Yeah. Another one, it's with insomnia, it even comes in different levels. Some can't shut down, some will sleep, and after 2 hours they are up and they cannot sleep again for hours. And then when it is daybreak, when they're supposed to get on with their activity, that is when they'll be feeling so sleepy and it becomes really tedious. Then they have to go through a cycle where if they don't drink caffeine, they have to go and drink coffee, otherwise they can't keep active or alert. You need to fix the hormone that you begin to resolve. You may not be able to solve it completely, but it can be improved a lot if you manage your hormone. Another one is breakout of acne. I still have that even now. When I begin to see the acne breakouts, I say, my period is about to come. A week or so before my period, I begin to see spot. 2 days before, boom, it's there. Not anymore, because I supplement heavily now. It's not about applying cream. I cleanse from within with my food and with myself, with my supplements. The next one that many people don't know, and this affects a lot of youngsters, is the brittle bone one. Pain in the leg is the endometrial pain that is directly linked to your hormone. This affects a lot of our youngsters. So when you see you're 13, 14, 15 years old and they are, say, in chronic pain towards a particular time of the month, keep an eye on them. They might not be playing around. It could genuinely be that they have endometrial joint pain towards the time they're having their periods, and it is real. In fact, it's getting so real now that America is beginning to actually look at keyhole surgery to help some young girls to fix it. But I say, why go towards surgery for a girl that's not given birth or maybe not even ready for marriage or whatever? Where in the leg? Okay, it's that joints, especially the joints of the leg and some hips, and they complaining of that pain. We'll be like, what's the link between this and their period? Yes, they do. And that is very, very common in the youngsters. 12, 13, 14, 15, the teenage years in our girls. It's quite sad, and some take it on even beyond their teenage years. If you have anyone around you that have specific time of the month where they get the pain, think about hormonal imbalance in them and get them good supplement to support their hormone. And for people like that, hemp seed, I'm a huge fan of hemp seed. Hemp seed, cucumber, it's really, really great for our hormone, which is the reason why this month I am bringing back the hemp seed celery and the ginger challenge for those that are willing to join. The challenge is very simple. I want to do OMAD. This is what I've introduced in all my groups. That is 1 meal a day plus that smoothie for the whole month. And the reason I bring it back is last month I had a lot of complaints around. I have the pain like seriously 2 days before my period. See, someone has just said it. My sister, is your hormone imbalance. That is what is causing it for you. So if you take care of your hormone through your diet, your food, and your supplements, and possibly as much gentle exercises as you can manage, you will be able to manage that. Some will even have to depend on prescribed medication. America is now introducing surgeries to actually drain the endometrium lining in order to relieve that pain for those that have it as a chronic issue. So we have a name for it now. There's no need for our girls to suffer needlessly. So this month I'm introducing that. Maybe from tomorrow, if I can manage it, I'll actually do the smoothie. I've done it on several occasions for many people to see. So either you get your celery or cucumber, either of the two. Celery is what I preferred simply because celery has a lot of selenium and that is so good for the bones. Apart from the fact that it's quite bulky and it won't make you feel hungry. Celery fills you more than cucumber will do. So if you're worried about hunger in between the day, use more of celery. And it's got a lot of water. It's really, really good for the bone. And it's quite good for your hormone as well. So we eat 1 meal a day. Make that meal as healthy as possible. Then make the celery, ginger, and the hemp seed. Hemp seed simply because it's got a lot of vitamin E in it. And it's particularly good for hormone balance. And it's got massive amounts of omega. In fact, between chia seed and hemp seed, you will get much more nutrient from your hemp seed than you will do from your chia seed. So I'm a huge fan of hemp seed for that reason. So for those of us that are not supplementing on what seed, please? Okay, I'll show you the one I have, even though not that I'm endorsing the brand, is the one that just came in for me. Hemp, as in Indian hemp, H-E-M-P. Hemp seed is quite good for hormonal imbalance. I just ordered this because I've got 2 girls in the house. There are 3 of us. So we eat a lot of hemp seed in my house. And for those that do the vegetable smoothies with you, Now I meet my MC with my fenugreek and some things to make my smoothie. You can have it like that as well, or make it as your smoothie. If you struggle from hormonal imbalance, make sure you're always with MC and turmeric. Those are two things you don't ever want to run out of. It's important. So that is part of our routine. Another one apart from the bone. Are the one that suffers from headache? Some people, when their period is about to start, nasty headache. And you don't even know why you're getting it. And the headache will be there, so persistent. Another sign of it. Some call it migraine. It falls in between the two. The migraine, for those that suffer from migraine, around the period they're about to have their hormone, they're about to have the period, the migraine will even be worsened. Now, combine migraine with joint pain, with painful period and mood swing. How will you sleep? Those three alone are enough to make sleep difficult. Can you see how they tie into each other? Now, going now to the older women. So as we are getting into, this is where people like me are now falling into. From your 40 and your beginning, this is why you see a lot of ladies, even before they get into menopause, they are already complaining of vaginal dryness, low libido. Even some, you got all of that. Okay, I have something for you. Keep following me. Even some, even in a marriage, low libido is there. They are just not interested in sex. Why? Estrogen progesterone imbalance is there. They cannot. Classical sign of hormonal imbalance in older ladies. And it's not as if they don't want to feel it, but they just can't. Any little thing, painful. Intercourse. Classic. Dryness all the time. Go to the stores and look at Vagisil, all the lubricant. They are high sale because so many ladies have to depend on them. This is the reason why you're seeing high influx of so many aphrodisiac in women now taking a lot. Why? Who is buying them? It's because people need it. Now, if you're going to fix that, begin to fix your hormone from within. Nobody will tell you. You will begin to feel the difference. It's the reason why I've gone into the aphrodisiac market and I'm promoting the use of Gorontula, because Africa herbs, we have a lot of stuff. Honey goatweed, nobody will give you that, but we've got it. Right? We have a lot of stuff. Maca, we've got it that we can use, that can help with all these things. Now, we have not even finished. Now, as you progress, as you are getting elderly, hair breakouts. Hair begins to thin out. Begins to thin. Say, oh, my hair is losing its hold, it's losing its body. Hair will start to break. Hormone again. But we don't connect all these things with each other. You know, there is the one that is another one that is classic. Bloated, you know, people feel very bloated. Some goes between bloat and constipation. They can't poo when they're about to have their period. And some will go from constipation to extreme diarrhea. You just can't settle. God has made us like that, but we have a responsibility to take care of us. Not knowing is no longer an excuse. I had a case of a young lady recently whom they've done, name all the tests they have done it, they can't pick it. They've gone through so many. I don't want to go into details because I know the mom is going to watch this and I don't want to add to her distress. They've done all the tests and I said, can you tell them to stop now? How many months have we been doing this test? Let's begin to fix the hormone. And I placed her on some very funny combination. Thankfully, they are all herbs. One thing the mom said to me that hit me was, Auntie, she's beginning to improve her sleep a little bit. So let's begin to watch. Sleep is beginning to improve. There is less irritability. There is more enthusiasm about schoolwork. So that is it. It is either we go along that route or they place her on psychotic medication, which is always the first line of defense here. Any little thing they will tell you is childhood psychiatry. Yeah? Any little thing they will tell you is childhood psychiatry. Right? Before you know it, they put them on sertraline. They section them. That's it. Beginning to mess up with your future. Don't allow that to happen. Let's pay attention. One way you can pay good attention is get a book. If you have a young girl, let's begin to track. Begin to track these symptoms so that you can know the pattern. Talk. Track the symptom. If you're the one struggling for me, look at when does this start. Track it. So you'll be able to know. And you can say, okay, yeah, actually, that's true. It tied in with this. So, does your gut change? Juggling from constipation to diarrhea? Or bloating, you're feeling bloated all the time. Some people will be walking around you and you'll be feeling their breath. You actually feel the disgusting breath. They might not know. They are so filled with gas. Hormone. Tummy is not settled. Right? Tummy is not settled. I had another one. Yeah, this is a classic one. Previously, for those of you that follows my video, I get that. About the time coming closer to my period, you will see my face will swell up. And you can see, I remember my ex-husband used to say, Otunti double up, which means your face has gone up again. The face will just change. My nose will be coming like someone that is pregnant, even though I am not pregnant. All the water has gone on my face, on my hands, and on my legs. As soon as the period is over, give me a week, it's gone right down. You retain a lot of fluid. You need to talk to your parents. You retain a lot of fluid, right? Those are the classic signs. So what do we need to do when this is happening? I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, oh, it's so easy. Now, for a lot of people, when this is happening, it messes up their insulin, because when you can't work out what is wrong with you, many of us begin to comfort eat. And you find solace in your food. We are talking about hormonal imbalance, my sister. Yeah? And people begin to eat. Then we go from one trajectory to the next, where you know you're already obese, but because you're not sleeping, something is going to have to give. So when you're not sleeping, you take comfort in your food, you begin to eat and eat. Then weight begin to pile up. As the weight is piling up, you become more anxious and more depressed, because now when you now look at yourself in the mirror, you are literally hating what you see, and the cycle continues. And that cycle continues. We have to put in extra work. Now, add that to a woman that is approaching menopause. Hormonal imbalance in menopausal women, oh my God. For youngsters, it's not even as bad. As you are approaching menopause with hormonal imbalance, it's even worse, because menopause on its own will give you symptoms that look like all these things we have mentioned anyway. Now add your insomnia to the night sweats that comes, to the distress that follows it. Menopause would naturally give mood swing, because estrogen and progesterone is messed up in menopause anyway. Then with the background of that, so you just can't win. So when you know you are sitting at that line, my simple advice to you is that is not the time you really do not want to spend money on you. Like, that is the time your supplement will become like your food. Otherwise, you will have to go on the steroid route, where they won't have a choice but give you steroid and some birth control pills. Now, as much as all those will help, they come with some terrible side effects on their own. In fact, the only medication that is licensed in America to be used for hormonal imbalance in some age, they even acknowledge that they have to weigh the side effects against the importance. You have to make a stern decision to see whether you're going to take that risk or not. So imagine something you know you're going to use. They will tell you, it's written clearly on the pack, there is a slight risk of endometrial cancer, because hormonal imbalance has a direct route to endometriosis and your endometrium anyway. Now they are going to give you a medication that has a slight chance of increases your risk of endometrial cancer. Is that the route we really want to go? We know that all this, in as much as I'm a huge fan of take medication if you need it, there are some we need to take with caution. That if you can go along the route of using your medication, using your food and your natural way, maybe going for yoga, going to do your exercise and taking your supplements, I would rather you do that, especially if you know you have other risk factors. Especially if you have other risk factors. For someone like me that I know I'm prone to type 2 diabetes anyway, that is one area I cannot go. Every day I pray never to see any reason for me to use steroid, because before you say Jack, my sugar will spiral out of control. Even without steroid, I have issue with sugar until I start to manage it aggressively. So imagine me now using steroid on top of that. What is going to happen? This was the problem we had when we had the COVID-19, that many people were placed on steroid and their health got really, really bad, and many became type 2 diabetic all of a sudden. It's because we are already sitting on some of these things that we don't know before. So if you are about my age group, maybe our youngsters can get away with it, and you have all these symptoms that I've put down. If I've not even finished listing all of them, there are so many of them. Weight gain is one of it. Your peripheral, low libido, there are so many of them. And you know you have some of these. Even some, let me say, another classic one with ladies. Some of us that have a lot of hairs, and you're growing hair all over, facial hair everywhere. Classic hormonal imbalance. Classic. That's your, the Igbos with some money, ajelo, it's not true. It is your hormone. That's one of the classic one. Or you see a lady that is very deep baritone. We say small word, the whole world is hearing what we are saying. Those are your classic sickness. You don't even need anybody to tell you. Now we have some home kits that you can even use to check at home what your hormone is doing. Just that when you do the kit, you have to send it to a lab, and they are not cheap. Right? Some will have to go for as far as doing scans, MRIs, and all before they will arrive that is your hormone. But what would they give you in the hospital though? The part is always very clear. Either you're on steroid or you are on these birth control pills that have, not everybody will tolerate them. That's the simple truth. Not everyone will tolerate them. Or you're going to have to be very strict with yourself, be disciplined, manage your food, right? Go on this kind of challenge we're about to do, and take your supplements. Let me give you an example. One of our ladies, I don't know, she promised to join, and I hope she does. Once I find her, I'm going to bring her on. December, she contacted and explained everything. She could no longer sleep. She knows she's stressing out really big with her hormones, she knows. And said, what can she take? Said, well, I don't know. It depends on your budget. And I remembered I gave her the Menghian, one of our hormonal imbalance capsules, and the Abere capsules. Tonight she has spoken to me. Sis, once you're online, let me know so I can bring you on if you're happy to talk. She said, sis, I need to pray for you. And she started praying. She's a Nigerian. She started praying, and she prayed and prayed and prayed. She was the one I spoke with before I go on this video. She said, why are you praying? She said, I just need to let you know that for the first time in a very long time, she had a period for 3-4 days in a row with heavy flow, because her period has more or less ceased, and because she's no longer flowing like she should, all the symptoms we put, she was struggling from it. Then she sat one day, she said she nearly collapsed. That I need to pray. And she prayed and prayed and prayed. And I said, it's okay. She said, no, I just need you to know that you just don't know what God has used you for. That for 3-4 days, my period came. I would never have believed that is possible. And I said, I was about to start a series on hormonal imbalance. I've actually done the flyer. She gave me the energy I needed to come and do this video tonight. I said, you know what? I'll actually go and do it and get people to do that. That really made me happy. And I'm glad that she's gotten that result. And I'm going to encourage anyone. This month, my domain, my focus this month is all around hormonal imbalance. It will be. Because there are so many people suffering silently, suffering needlessly. You're buying supplement for this, you are buying this for that, when truly what you should be concentrating on is indeed fixing that hormone and stabilizing it. And once you're able to do that, a lot of the other symptoms you're feeling will be resolving themselves. Now, can I promise that, once you take the supplement for 1 month, it's going to stop? No. Everybody has different body metabolism. Some people will take it in 2 weeks and they'll be perfectly okay. Some will have to continue for a longer period of time. It depends on your body type. But what I can say to everyone is, once you begin to use it, you will notice differences. You will do. For those that have background of sugars and they are not aware, you need to. Because your insulin is an hormone as well. Combine that with your respiratory hormone that is not working well. Insulin sensitivity has messed up a lot of us anyway, both male and female. For men, theirs present with their ED. I will get into that tomorrow. I don't want to go into men today. Tonight, I just want to make it female. But this challenge we are having, both male and female can do it. So wives, do it for your husbands. Do it for your teenage girls, right? It will help them. We've done it before. Let's do it again this month. Celery, ginger, or cucumber, ginger, and your hemp seed every day. Now, if you're going to be stricter and you can do 1 meal a day, that will be perfect. If you can't do 1 meal a day, maybe 2 meals a day, even though 1 meal a day is what I want you to do. But if you can't do that, at least make sure one food of the day, 1 meal a day, it's this smoothie here, with the view that we can begin to correct this hormone. And definitely, if you haven't started on the Menghian, which is the specific supplement I give to people for hormonal imbalance, I have the Menghian, I have the inositol, definitely, and I have the Abere capsules. I will encourage you to go on it. For the sister that called me and said your skin is to die for, what cream? I keep telling you, I do not concentrate on cream. If you like, you can send me your urea, I will use it. But I supplement, and I don't joke with my supplements. I've already told you my supplement routine before, and I'm never going to stop because it has completely changed my life, and it has ensured I don't need crazy prescribed medication. You can get it. Call my number 078-77254-559. Get in touch, or you send me a message and you can order it. You need the Menghian, you need your Abere capsules, and definitely the inositol. If you're the type that is struggling with sleep as a major consequence, the L-theanine and your magnesium is non-negotiable. For us now, magnesium glycinate is becoming like our vitamin D. We will not be able to run away from it unless you want to continue to suffer in silence. That is the simple truth. Will it cost you money? You're going to have to make a decision. Either you continue to struggle with ill health, or you actually use your money to improve your health. Sadly, even the GPs can no longer help. You can't even get them on the phone anymore anyway. Not to talk of how many people can get appointments like before. The services have changed. So we are in the era of taking responsibility for our health. We are. It is non-negotiable. Either you take responsibility for your health, or you wait till something happens and it becomes an emergency. And all these things tied into our mental state. You see, the poor lady that died in America this week, the former Miss USA 2019, it was a very sad death. And everybody was like, how could that have happened? It's not about the amount of money you have. If people are struggling with their health, sometimes there is a thin line between sanity and insanity. You just get overwhelmed. This thing can happen. Look at all these symptoms we've put down. If you don't sleep for 2-3 days, how would you feel? The lethargy, the frustration, the anxiety that comes with that, add that to the pressures and stresses of life. But we are women. It is part of what we're going to have to deal with. And I have to say, my sisters, your health is your number one priority. I don't care who you are. For me, these days, no matter what you say to me, I say, listen, fix your health, every other thing will fall into place. In fact, fix your health, your children will fall into place. Because if your health is failing, you cannot be useful to any other person. Fix your health and your money issue will fall into place. But without good health, there is nothing. So I make deliberate decision about my health, and it's non-negotiable. So that my me time, it's non-negotiable. Because it's until I'm healthy and I'm useful that others can benefit. And since I realized that, you can't negotiate it with me. The most expensive thing I buy is my food and my supplements. And that is my truth. That is my most expensive thing I buy. I buy a lot of supplements. I invest heavily in my supplements. And they are helping me. I can see the effect all over me. And now, I manage my daughters better because now I know better. Does it cost me money? Just like you will pay. I pay a lot. My mom had fibroid. I remember that we paid for surgery. I saw her struggle for so many years. Then I got introduced some heavy supplements and we didn't have to do the surgery. She looks more younger now than she's ever done in her life. And every day, each time she calls, she's always praying that, everybody's complimenting me for my skin. I just need to let you know. And she will pray and pray, say, Mom, don't worry, it's fine. This is it. I so believe in spending my money on my health so that every other thing, that whenever it's time for me to die, I won't have any regrets health-wise, God willing. Because I will know I did my best. For me, it is nothing but more than that. Said, I know I have done my best in terms of preventing any nasties. So whatever happened, I can go to my creator to say, you know what, you gave me that body and I took care of it. And it does not matter how much it cost me. You won't see me where they are selling expensive stuff when it comes to whatever. But when it comes to heavy supplementing, I will do. Because you only need one thing to go wrong for us to appreciate health. And for me, because I work in the public domain, I hear a lot. I hear a lot. And people who are genuinely struggling and suffering health-wise, don't be one of them. Don't be one of them. As my gift to anyone that is interested to fix their hormone this month, the Menghian capsule we usually sell for 36 pounds, including postage. My number is 078 77 254 559. 078 77 254 559. That's my number. I'm based in the UK. So that's my number. Get the Menghian. This month, throughout this month, I don't know, I'm feeling quite led. I need a lot of you to get on board and actually fix your hormone. Whether it is sleep issue, fix your hormone, it will improve. Whether it is fibroid issue, fertility issue, gut issue, fix your hormone and it will improve. That much I know. Whether it is insomnia issue, fix your hormone and it will improve. For a lot of you, it's about wanting to lose weight. Seriously, I put out the post today that weight loss is more hormonal than it is your calorie. Even though calorie is important, your hormone is much more important to your weight loss than your calorie. And that is the simple truth. Because your insulin sensitivity is directly your hormonal. Your estrogen is directly hormone. Your thyroid, your hypothyroid, that will make you gain weight even though you have not eaten nothing, is your hormone. So fix your hormone, weight loss becomes a lot easier. Mood has a lot to do with hormone. It's the reason why many people are getting fantastic response now to their omegas. When they do go on heavy combination of omegas, it improves because it is your hormone. So this month I want to really, really heavily concentrate on that. If you want to get on the hormonal balance pattern, Menghian will usually sell for 36 pounds with postage. This month, I will take 5 pounds off. For those that are serious, don't contact me if you're not serious, because I don't have time for time wasters. I'm sorry. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to. If you're genuinely interested and serious in fixing it, get on board. Seriously. Come get some of the supplements and start on that journey. Will I tell you that, oh, it's so easy, you won't put in any work? No, I don't promise rubbish. You will have to be disciplined with your food. Whether you want to do 2 meals a day is entirely up to you, but make it healthy. The Menghian is 31 pounds and the Abere is 15 pounds. You combine the two. Now, if you have insomnia with it, either you had your magnesium glycinate or you had your theanine. Or if you want to go for the full package, actually, either use both the L-theanine and your magnesium. Combine with all of this, your hormone health will improve. You will know and you will tell me. Because I work a lot on words of mouth. And I follow up so that I can get feedback. Now, when you initially start your journey, you might get fantastic response in a week and you plateau. That is normal. That is absolutely normal. Carry on. Keep being disciplined. When you notice that something has changed and you can't explain, begin to track. That is how you'll be able to know that what did I do differently that I wasn't doing before. Then you'll be able to merge and see, okay, I added that or I had that. Pay attention. Yeah, we can deliver to Acne. I deliver everywhere in the UK, even to Europe. So it doesn't matter where you are, we can deliver. Just, we can deliver to Acne. So send me a message or give me a call immediately after this and that can be arranged. So pay attention to the kind of food you're eating. In my group, I've introduced everyone to intermittent fasting. And it's on the page as well. If you're not on my page, the LDU and I page, join. I encourage people to fast twice a week if they can, and some 3 times a week, because when you're doing that, you are encouraging your cells to repair. So now imagine introducing intermittent fasting, which you can actually drink a lot of infused water. What you will drink is your carrot and cucumber infused water during your period of fasting. You know, if you can't do 16 hours, do 12 hours.
The whole idea is give your body some time to rest, for your cells to auto heal themselves. Now combine that with this smoothie once a day and the supplements. Seriously, by the time the month will end, I am waiting for the number of you that will tell me. I just want you, I'm putting it out in the public domain so you can tell me how it goes. I know that you will feel a lot of difference. Definitely. You may not be able to cure everything, but there will be significant difference. There will be. It is not possible for you to do this for a week and not see difference. It's just not possible. It is not possible. You must feel different. So it depending on what your goal is. Don't make weight loss the ultimate goal. Make health improvement the goal. Now, with health improvement, the weight loss will come. I would never have thought there will be a day I'll be looking forward to going to the gym. But now I've got so much energy that I actually look forward to going to the gym and doing things that I would never have done before. Almost 10 o'clock, I'm still loaded with energy. That is because I'm correcting my hormone now. I have a good understanding of what my hormone is doing. One of my daughters will walk for almost 2 hours a day. She's walking 45 minutes to and from school. If I say, let me drop, you say, no, mom, it's not necessary. And say, look at this girl. Look at this transition. Why? I give her the inositol and the Menghian, non-negotiable. Why? I do not want any one of them to struggle the way I have. Even though she's only 13 years old, I give it to her. Non-negotiable. And at night, I make them take the magnesium and the thiamine. Say, one, go and sleep. So they sleep soundly and wake up. See what we have noticed since we started that routine. Actually, there is massive improvement in their schoolwork. Everybody's grade has improved. Everyone. Everybody's grade has improved. Because they are sleeping better and they are less anxious. And someone will say, but why are you doing that? I say, listen, I suffered. I won't let them suffer. Because now I know better. Because now I absolutely know better. So it won't be under my watch. This is the routine I put my own children. So if you have youngsters, encourage them. Don't worry heavily. And these things are not expensive anyway. The magnesium is bloody how much? 11 pounds. Abere is 15 pounds. These are the monies you will take to McDonald's and waste anyway. The inositol is how much? 14 pounds. The most expensive one is the Menghian and the Omega. That is the one that I will sell for. And I'm even willing to take 5 pounds off it this month because I want a lot of people to benefit from this. Usually I sell that for 36 pounds. I'll let it go for 31 pounds throughout this month. For those that are serious, and if you have young girls, give them. Help them. Not only will there be improvements in their health, even their academics will improve. Because if they are sleeping better, they will be calmer. They will be. What I've noticed is, even my daughter that is normally asthmatic, we don't have all that anymore. She walks better. They now walk back from school. Say, Mom, don't worry, don't pick us, we will walk. And say, interesting. Something has changed. And they will walk that distance and they will come back home, do their work, we'll do all our bits. We have a lot of heavy stuff routine, but I'm proud of that. Start to make all these things. Let's live deliberately. Like, make deliberate decision. Have health plan. Just the way you will have money plan, have health plan for you and your children. Make deliberate decision about what you will do with yourself and your family. If you have to put the money aside, I put money aside actually. My budget for my supplement for myself and my mother and my children is non-negotiable. Nothing will touch it. Because for me, that is the most important. Every other thing can come after that. Food, supplements, then every other thing. That is what I want to share tonight. Tomorrow again, God willing, I'll be back. Because this month I intend to go deep into this hormonal imbalance. I will talk about hormonal imbalance in men as well. Because they have it too. They do. I will get into that. But for the first week, it's all going to be around women. Tomorrow, I will deal with PCOS in details and the hormone that are involved and what we should be doing. Don't wait till it affects fertility. Don't wait till it begins to affect the marriages before we begin to fix it. Some of these things we think, ayelon shewon, this, whatever. It's actually our health that is failing, but we didn't pay attention. I know that now. I didn't know that before. Many of us have actually suffered needlessly with our health. We have. and there's no reason. Lack of knowledge. But these days, lack of knowledge will no longer be an excuse because we now have so much information. They say knowledge is power. I refused. Knowledge is not power. Application of that knowledge is the power. Because if knowledge is power, nobody should be suffering with health issues anymore. Simply because if you Google now, you find every information you want. How come when we have information overload, we are all still struggling? So it is not the knowledge, it is the application of that knowledge. Everything I've said now, don't throw it away. See where it is useful for you and do something about it. I hope this has helped someone. If it has, if you need my number, 078 77254 This month I'm going to be quite strategic and deliberate about it. Hormonal health is very, very key because if we are able to fix our hormone, a lot of all the issues we have, we can deal with. I've got a lot written down that I want to talk about. We will still get to the follicle stimulating hormone and how that affects birth, cortisol, how that affects our stress. We'll get into that. These are the topics I intend to do throughout this month with the view of pushing the Menghian, which is deliberate for hormonal imbalance, the inositol, and improve your sleep for those that are ready to take the action. I hope that is useful. If you find that useful, kindly help us share. I'll be putting out the link for my page as well. You can join the link. You can join the page so that you can join our fasting routine, and take care of your health so that every other thing can fall into place. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Kindly help share the videos. Kindly help encourage more people to join. And if you want to join the team to promote our supplements, I am always recruiting because the more knowledgeable we are, the more people that are spreading the message and gospel of health, the better we'll all be collectively as a community. Thank you so much, everyone. The numbers remain the same. Iberian Care 078 77254 Get in touch and we can do what we can to support ourselves. Have a fantastic evening and I love you. May the Lord Almighty be with each and every one of us and support us and support our health. Thank you, good luck, and TikTok family, good night. Thank you. And to everyone on Facebook, thank you very, very much. I appreciate you. Have a great evening and bye for now.